We've got LA taking on Montreal 13-14. We've got Montreal -115, home favorite, slight home favorite, total of 5.5 shaded to the under. And we got to give Dana Lane credit. He said Montreal needed a hump up desperation effort. They gave it on the Tuesday night against the Florida Panthers. And really, Florida had a 1-0 lead. Montreal had nothing going right for them. And they just decide, let's get the Macy's Day Parade to the penalty box going here in the second period and just give a team that had absolutely no life, no energy, no confidence, all the energy, life, and confidence in the world. And sure enough, one goal goes in, 1-1, feeling a little bit better. Oh, quickly, a second goal goes in as Florida, sort of slumps a bit. Bam. And then all of a sudden, that Montreal team was flying, confidence left and right, and there was all she wrote. No coming back for the Florida Panthers. So when it comes to this game, do the Montreal Canadiens have a win streak in them now after they get a win to snap the bad vibes, all the talk about, fire Bergevin, all the talk about we can't score goals, we're not playing good enough defensively, what's wrong with Carey Price? He's not playing the same as we've expected him to. Is that now that dies down because they won the other night, is this team capable talent-wise and personnel-wise of putting multiple wins together now? That's the question you've got to ask yourself coming into this game against the LA Kings. And the answer for me is I am honestly not sure. I'm not. I'm going to need to see this one more time from the Montreal Canadiens before getting involved from a betting standpoint. I don't love the Kings on the road in particular. No question about that. And, LA lost to Toronto, came back, beat Ottawa in a shootout the other night. They played good. I mean, the Kings have been one of the surprises so far. John Stevens, the head coach, is allowing them to play with more aggressiveness in the offensive zone. They're not totally that defensive shell and minded unit they were with Daryl Sutter for all those years. They're playing with a little bit more urgency and attack-minded style at the offensive end of the ice. And there are some good things to like about the Kings, but I still need to see that they can sustain something reasonably good in terms of their performance now through, once we get into December, January, March. Where are the LA Kings at that point? Because this is a great start, there's no question, but do they have that staying power to really remain in the Western Conference playoff position, in a Western Conference playoff position for the remainder of the season? That's the question that I've got about the LA Kings moving forward, but can't take away from their start. It's been very good. I'm not going to be involved in this game. It's a watch-only game for me. Let's see. We've got Dana involved with LA Montreal. Alex involved as well with LA Montreal here tonight. We'll start with Dana. What are you looking at?
Well, why not ride the streak, right, guys? And I don't mean the Montreal Canadian win streak. I mean the total streak. Montreal's riding 5 straight overs right now, and that looks to be right about where I expect them to be. I don't expect them to be a shutdown defensive team on a night in, night out basis. So I have no problem playing their games on the over. And in fact, when these two teams got together, recently, I mean, it's a 2-0-2 to the over. It's a small sample size, so do with that what you must. But 2 of the 5 goals that they scored against Florida were power play goals, an area of their team that they desperately have to get better. I mean, they're 26 in the National Hockey League in power play goals. They're even worse than that overall offensively. But I think one of the things about betting, guys, is that you have to identify the trends early. And one thing I don't love, and one dynamic I didn't love, fresh off of that victory, they're talking to Mark Bergevin yesterday about, his team. And he said, yeah, you know what? And this is right off a victory. He says, yeah, I don't think we're playing with a lot of confidence right now. Well, if I'm the Montreal Canadian locker room, I'm just like, I'm either A, that really just takes the edge off of our victory, or B, that really makes me angry. Either way, I think that's good for the over in this situations. I do think that they're getting pretty good play from their depth guys. I think, Brandon Gallagher's playing well. I hope that rubs off on guys like Plekanec, who is, his line mate. But this, to me, if you're getting a plus price, I just think when you look at 2 teams that you don't know what you're going to get from them, I tend to go on the over on that because I just think that there's too many question marks. And again, I equate question marks to adding new guys to the lineup. I think that equates to overs. We know that the Kings are feeling good about their start, but this is the fourth game in their last 6 days. I don't try to overrate fatigue because I think when people use that as a factor, sometimes that's overrated. But if that does come into play, obviously that's good for our over as well. And if Jonathan Quick does get the start tonight, which he is probable against Carey Price to get the start, let's not forget he did get hit in the head the other night against Toronto. Didn't dress against Ottawa, so let's see what the effects are of that. Hey, look, all those things, guys. I'm getting a plus price on the over. Not my best bet, but certainly worth a look for me.
All right, over 5.5, and it is a plus price. It's a good plus price. You can get plus 115 at bookmaker/Chris over 5.5 in that Kings Habs game tonight. That's a very good price, no question about that. And a good quote too from Shea Weber. It's a step in the right direction, but we can't step back. So he knows they got to try to keep it going. John Quick's been excellent, no question about that. And how about LA's ability to score some goals? I mean, you look at Andrei Kopitar's having a bounce back so far this season. Dustin Brown's chipped in. Trevor Lewis has even given them some depth scoring. How about Adrian Kempe? There's a guy that's really taken this team by storm and has scored some goals, especially lately, the last few games. So suddenly there's some options offensively for the LA Kings that maybe they didn't have last year, or maybe Daryl Sutter wouldn't play enough to realize that they had them. But either way, John Stevens, it's nice harmony now. Everybody's buying in early on to the John Stevens and what's going on. So a lot of good things with LA, but Montreal finally gets a win. Can they maybe carry that momentum forward tonight? Fascinating game to watch for sure. Andrew, what do you think about your beloved Habs after they finally get a win to snap that ugly skid?
I just want to answer your question really with the whole, can they keep this up? And the answer really is no. I think the obvious thing about this Habs team, is just consistency. Everyone says it's no big play or big observation of mine, but you look at Marc Bergevin and, first of all, doesn't even want to talk to the media one day. Then the next day he wants to make one big media statement. All he says is the answer is in that room. That's all he says. He has that French accent, always seems to look so calm. I swear his team could start out 0-20, and he could just look so calm. He has that little knack about himself. And, I just don't think this team has that consistency to them, Ian, and that's the problem. They'll have one night where Weber will play well, Galchenyuk, Gallagher, Pacioretty, Drouin, everyone's scoring, everyone's doing well, they're all happy. And the next game they'll come out tonight against the Kings, and they probably will get one goal maybe. And he says the answer is in that room. He's not going to make any panic trades. And I can respect that. You don't want to panic. It all starts from the top. The GM can't panic. The owner goes down to the coach, etc. I understand that. But there's something that has to be done. There's a move that has to be made. And like I said, I've heard they've been in the works for something. But, this one win is nothing to be too excited about. As a Habs fan, I'm going to keep watching and keep rooting. But I'll tell you guys, this is nothing to be too excited about. I think this Habs team, if they don't make a move anytime soon, they're going down.
Well, we better damn well hope there's an answer in that room, because you know what? They got issues at all three levels of the game. I mean, depth scoring is an issue. Scoring altogether is an issue. Defensively, I mean, this is as weak a core of defensemen as I've seen for Montreal in years. When you've got, Alsner to me is okay, but he's not fantastic. Jordy Benn's terrible. Davidson's not great. I mean, Edmonton doesn't want you, Brandon Davidson, and still here you are now in Montreal. Jeff Petrie, okay. Mete is still young. He's going to make mistakes. Shea Weber's the guy you really are hanging your hat on this blue line. And as a result, poor Carey Price, and Carey's not been as sharp as he's been, but he's gotten very precious little help in front of him. That's been a big-time problem for Montreal so far this season. So there's areas where they're struggling in all facets right now. I know they beat Florida. Everybody's excited to finally a win, but hey, Florida's a pretty dumb organization as far as I'm concerned. When you make Tom Rowe an interim head coach, a complete dope, had no clue what he was doing, had no kind of chemistry or any sort of good positive relationship with the players, but you get rid of a guy that does have a good positive relationship with players in Gerard Gallant, and you leave him at the hotel to catch his own damn cab back home after you fire him. That's disgraceful. I'll never forgive Florida Panthers for that. That is as bad as you could do it in terms of optics, in terms of common decency. That's what it comes down to, common decency. And they didn't show any of that to Gerard Gallant. It was absolutely abysmal. So, Florida, you get what you deserve sometimes. And losing to Montreal and being the tonic that cures what ailed them, at least for one night, is part of that. Alex, you're involved too on this game. What are you looking at, my friend?
Yeah, it's funny. Mark Bergevin should have taken a page out of the Rick Pitino playbook and told these guys, Patrick Raw's not walking through that door. Guy Lafleur's not walking through that door. But like I said, you look at Montreal. I was on Florida in that Montreal game, and Florida looked really good in the first period. They looked horrible in the second and third period. But it wasn't that Montreal. They just took what was in front of them. They didn't play a great game for 60 minutes. Montreal, like I said, it was a 1-0 game forever. They had a few chances, but there was nothing spectacular about the win other than getting off the losing skid. That's the only thing that was good out of that win. So looking at the spot, and I was shocked to even see close to a pick and price when this opened. I'm thinking the Kings are easily going to come out favored here. And like I said, yeah, fourth game in 6 nights, they should be a little fatigued. I wouldn't be shocked to see that at all. Like I said, Dana was spot on. I think this game will go over the total, but I don't see Montreal winning this game here. I think LA, if they see what Florida saw in that first period, they're a better team. They're going to take advantage of that. They're going to start scoring. They're not going to lay back and wait for Montreal to make mistakes. So I like the Kings here, but I think the over is a good play as well.
All right, there we go. LA Kings at plus 100 for Alex B. Smith in this game in Montreal, rotation 13. Also a lean to the over as well.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.